Supporter of the military strike on Syria is local U.S. Congressman Michael McCaul. Tonight, KXAN's Aaron Cargile sat down with the chairman of the Homeland Security Committee to talk about the president's decision and what this means moving forward.
I think this is a very positive step forward to project strength in the region.
Republican Congressman Michael McCaul backing President Donald Trump's decision to fire missiles at a Syrian air base, a decision made without the approval of Congress.
Well, I just think, he has constitutional authority as commander-in-chief to act, but I think it's always better to work with the Congress and have the American people support anytime we go into a conflict.
Chairman McCaul says they'll be working together from this point forward, weighing in on the next move.
Assad eventually will have to leave from power, and I think that's going to require soft power, negotiations, political reconciliation to do that, and also hard power. What is the next step here from a military standpoint? We're already using our military to go after ISIS in Syria and Iraq, and that's the right thing to do, but we have to resolve this Assad regime violating international law by using chemical weapons to kill its own people.
What does this strike mean for American security?
I think it made Americans more secure. It took out chemical weapons in Syria that could easily fall in the hands of Al-Qaeda or ISIS, and we know their intent is to hit the homeland, hit Europe, and have external plots into the United States.
Have you changed your point of view at all on allowing Syrian refugees into the U.S.?
Well, not until I can get proper assurances they can properly be vetted. I think the question was, FBI Director Comey testified before my committee, the Director of National Intelligence and Secretary of Homeland Security, that there was a segment of the Syrian population that posed a risk to Americans in the homeland. And above all, that's my first priority, is to protect Americans. If that can be done, then we're a compassionate nation. We take refugees from a whole host of countries.
Aaron Cargile, KXAN News.
Members of Congress are still waiting to be officially notified about the strike, which is required by law.
Under the War Powers Act, the president's required to explain to Congress the legal authorization under which he acted.
The War Powers Act became law in 1973. Both houses of Congress overrode a presidential veto in order to pass it. It requires the president to notify Congress within 48 hours of military action, and it forbids fighting for more than 60 days without congressional approval. Republican Senator John McCain and Democratic Senator Tim Kaine proposed repealing the War Powers Act in 2014. They wanted to replace it with new rules requiring a president to consult with Congress more extensively before agreeing to military action.